it's December and mostly what I'm growing is weeds. Hello and welcome back to my allotment. It is the 1st of December today, and as you might be able to tell, it is very, very chilly. I've got my proper winter scarf on and I popped up to the allotment to do a couple of quick jobs. The first was to refill the bird feeder because that's one of my favourite things to do during winter, to make sure my little feathered friends have something to eat. And secondly, I still haven't planted my onions, okay? Don't judge me, I should have done this a while back. But it does say on here plant September to December, so I'm not technically late, but I've got those to go in the ground, so that's my main job for today. And I'll also do you a very, very quick plot tour. Not that there's much to see because it's December and mostly what I'm growing is weeds. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I'm stood on one of my plots and the other one is here to my left. I have filled this area here with 4 different kinds of garlic. I did that a couple of weeks ago, so there's actually not anything to see. There's 1 or 2 small shoots coming through, but that's it. So this whole front bed is going to be alliums. I've got my garlic in, and I've got onions, which I'm going to put in a second. Behind that, honestly, it's all just weeds. I've got my former brassica bed here, which is actually mostly just full of marigolds at the moment, and I've got bean frames just behind, which I'm going to cut twine off and move those. Those are coming down to where I'm stood now. But honestly, the goal for this area is just to clear everything out of it except for the alliums, which I'm going to sow now. I think the camera's wonky. Are we okay with that? We're okay with that, are we? Let me fix it. Is that better? Are you feeling a little bit drunk? I need a new tripod, that's what this is. So now I'm stood on the other plot, and this year this grew. What did this grow? This was where my alliums were before, and I have not really cleared any of it at all yet, which is very naughty of me. So I'm going to get on with that. I've got all my old courgette bushes and nasturtium husks and things at the back there, up by the green Johanna, as you can see, the composter. I'm going to start by clearing this end. I've got a pile of homemade compost here that I've emptied from one of the other composters, which I'm going to mix into the soil. My plan for all of the composters, because I have 3 of them, is to move them towards the back and just have one composting area rather than have them scattered all around, which I'll show you in a second. But again, nothing in the ground. We're looking at winter digging, nothing all that exciting just yet. So this is the very, very back of plot 1. This previously had all my pumpkins growing just to my right here, and I've got dahlias that form a border for this section, and the idea always was that this back bit would become a kind of wildlife garden. I have previously sown lots of wildflowers and things here. I've got my bird feeder, which I have to refill. I've got a pond. I don't know if you can see the pond, I don't know if that's in shot, but there's a pond just there. But what I'm going to change is that this is the section where I'm stood. I'm going to move all my composters here. I've got 3 of them. I'm going to go at the back. I just think that would make more sense, and kind of start to really make this area almost like the hub of the plot. So if I were allowed to have a shed, which sadly I'm not unless I do some very long, complicated form involving planning, permission and lots of money, this is where I would have the shed. So I'm going to make this a kind of central hub. I'm going to try and get a bench. I'm going to plant lots of flowers around, almost like a garden more than an allotment, and start to really structure and transform this area this year. So where I'm starting with that is to get all of the Johannas, empty them out and move them through this back corner. So yes, that's my long-term plan, and it's in progress. So there we go. Again, nothing I can really show you currently. There's a lot of weeds, there's a lot of clearing that I need to do. I have to make a big decision as to whether I leave my dahlias in the ground or whether I lift them. And I'm feeling lazy. I think I might leave them in the ground. I've got some cloches and things that I can put over the top. I did leave them in last year, and they did largely all return, one or two casualties, but I'm thinking for the amount of effort it takes me to dig up 30 plus dahlias and put them in pots and fill up my greenhouse all the way until May next year when I'll pop them out again. I'm just feeling that I might leave them in the ground this year. So regardless, I still need to do a bit of tidying up, and I probably put a cloche over the top of them to keep them as safe as I possibly could. But that's, again, everything that I can do with this area. This is where I normally grow pumpkins, so I will be putting as much homemade compost and manure and maybe even some green manure here as I can. Pumpkins are heavy feeders. I swear I can hear a cat. Just me? Just me. Pumpkins are heavy feeders, so this is an area that I usually try to improve the soil as much as I can. So yes, it's mostly just future plans, isn't it, today? There's not a lot I can really show you. My allotment is very boring in winter, so compost and pumpkins. So anyway, that's probably about everything for today. I'm going to sit here and eat my piece of quite a substandard brownie. I didn't use my usual recipe, and it's just not as nice as normal. And I'm really upset with myself that I forgot to bring a coffee, but there we go. So yes, just a very quick plot tour for the end of November. Not much in the ground. Probably not much next month either, really, but we'll have a look. And then it's on to more exciting things, like having a think about what seeds I want to purchase for the coming growing year. So I'll probably do a video about those or two, because I usually go a bit crazy when it comes to seeds, and I hope you'll join me for that. But that's it. I'm going to go enjoy my brownie, so bye bye for now.